close to this bony part of the shoulder as I could, and be like, get away from me.
Okay.
And it was just be one downward slap, you know, like almost like you marked your target. So when she's this and she turns, and then she goes this and kind of gives you this, right? This is where she gets herself in trouble. If she makes the turn correctly, she can go like this, right? But she's doing this kind of stuff. She's taking almost one step at you, or sometimes even several. When she takes one step at you, like I'm coming that way instead of going that way, you're just going to say, oh, I guess your shoulder needs a little more support. And kind of give it that, like, but don't get mad. It's not a, you know, how dare you look at me like that. Just kind of goes, oh, apparently you need a little more support. You know, and then that way you'll kind of keep your emotions out of it and be like, you didn't do it right. Apparently you need a little more support. And that'll keep you from getting kind of upset with her and then having that kind of exchange. I can't really visit with you because you're supposed to work. So I wouldn't do too much with that, except for if she drive by and had an attitude, I would have done something with it. Still a little bit of a drive-by, but it wasn't bad. Now I would drive the shoulder. Yep, there you go. Good. Don't do anything about stopping her front feet. Just encourage her to get out there. So essentially you're saying, apparently you need more support to get out of my space. Yep. See how she kind of scooched out with her shoulders that time? That's the kind of response you want. You don't want it where she's doing it afraid. You want it where she does it confidently knowing that I'm going to stay out here. That was, you know, that had a little fear in it, but that'll change when she realizes that's all she was getting punished for. Yes. Okay. Now you've improved that 1,000,000%. We'll see if this direction you might need to support this direction because different eye, different horse. Okay, so if she does do that again, we're just going to help her around that. Say, oh, apparently you need a little more support in this direction. With this other direction, as long as you don't let it get back the way it was, it should be fixed. Usually only takes one kick or one bite, you know. A lot of people would rather just keep smacking a horse and never explaining why they're getting there. So I would definitely have gotten in there. I would have taken an actual step at her. That's okay. You want it to be an aggressive, get out of my space kind of way. So there she had a moment of distraction, but also a moment of, do I really have to do it the way you said? So if you have to remind her, you know, it may go a couple times before you have to remind her. Yes. And then you didn't even have to hit her, but you had to give her a present. Now, I wouldn't say it's going to be fixed, but I'll say she's going to think twice about doing it again. Okay, so she's bringing a slight drive-by back. Do you see how she's not doing that second crossover to get out there? So just watch that. I wouldn't get after her. I would just maybe even just show her a little support, not necessarily stomp at her. So see if you have it. Yep, you do. Got the attitude, so you could still jump in there to fix the attitude. You say, I don't think you should be looking at me like that either. You know, and like I said, if you just keep the response being kind of like, you know, you're explaining to them manners without it being mad at them for their bad manners. Yep, right. Yeah. Yep, you could almost reinforce that one more time. Because she's decided that it's not totally what she has to do. But those are the steps she should be. She's a little shy on that one, but it was still a crossover, so you kind of got to give it to her. Okay. Maybe try to get to the front of the shoulder a little, like you got mostly to the girth there. Why she did more of a scooch with her ribs than she did with her stomach. Where it comes down? Yeah, right in front of there. You want it to be where you're spinning that shoulder while you're going to go in the other direction. Yeah, definitely in front of that. Yep. Yeah. Now see how you had those nice solid crossovers? Your goal is that her back feet will never leave the circle. Right? That was a nice question though. You know, you want her to start being like, okay, apparently you mean business. Let me ask you what else I should be doing then. Yep. So now how you take that up is see if you can do it in a trot. If you're worried about putting energy in her feet, she's pretty good, but if you're worried about putting energy in her feet, then don't. And if you think that that's not going to rev her up, and let's just say hypothetically you thought you had it, and you thought you could, yep, good timing. Let's say you think you have it and you can take some energy into it and put some good. You can put some trot to that. If you did that and then suddenly you got out of control, suddenly Remy got her attention again and you brought emotion to her feet, you can go right back to those really quick turns, back and forth, there you go. And then you can get her calm again. That would get her calm again. Yep. Or you can try it as a trot again. Good girl. The only thing I would do, I know you're trying to get her attention by almost stopping and saying here when you bring her in for a turn. You can't do that in an emotional setting. You have to literally like yank her nose around and pull her and send her the other direction. Like almost like you're trying to cause her fishtail. Like when when you're little and you want somebody to spin you around by holding your hands. You want to do that to her. Yeah, because if it's in slow motion, it's not punishment. And it's not really punishment, it's just trying to get her head focusing on her feet. Yep, there you go. Good timing on that. Something was getting her attention. A little bit of the attitude came back there. A little bit, and so now some worries coming back. And that's when you would definitely step in there and move that shoulder. Okay, because that'll get you protected too by stepping in there and moving that shoulder. No, I wouldn't even try to control it, I would just turn her. Because asking her to take energy out of her feet when she's emotional is almost impossible for her. But asking her to know where her feet are is going to help her get her head back. And again, I wouldn't do when I'm trying to do it and they get your head together, I wouldn't do it in a bumping way on her nose. I would just literally try to spin her tail away by pulling her in. Yeah, kinda. Yep, there you go. But and then make sure you drive that shoulder. So it's like you almost want to pull her in and spin her away. Yep, it's going to get emotional if we make this game too long. Yep, but almost do it where, allow her to be out on the circle. Don't you're reeling yourself in to make it happen. Allow her to be out on the circle, and then literally be like, okay, but try to do your best to keep her all the way out there, and you're just like if she, so you're like, no, come back this way. You're trying to do a really good moving her around by your neck. Does that make sense? Yes. Yes. from here. Okay? But if you want to do it, you're going to go, see, I'm already leading her forward, and I'm pulling her. And tell her shoulders what to do. I very much lobbed it at her shoulder. I wasn't smacking her. You know, she's like, I don't know really what I did to deserve that, but... And it's not, she didn't perceive that as punishment. She said, I just don't know why we just did that. Yeah. Alright, like, I guess I behave. I don't know what I was doing, but I'll behave. But as you're sending her, you're like, go that way. No, never mind, go that way. No, never mind, go that way. You want to have that, your energy needs to match or be like a pound heavier than hers. So that you can get her to, oh, shit, I thought I was crazy, but you are crazy. You know? You want her to think you're nuts and she has to calm you down. Okay, so now see how calm she is all of a sudden? Even though she wasn't being bad, she still had energy in her feet. Now she's just like, okay, let's just take another breath. Let me calm you down. You want it to be their idea that they're settling you down. Alright. Then let her have room. The idea too is you're going to want her to be able to get as far away from you, so when you send her, you know, like kind of almost letting her establish that you're basically. Bend her in half. Think about bending her in half. Yeah, and then send that shoulder and say, no, you're not in half enough. That's okay. I don't even know if you have to do it so much as leaning to send. Maybe just kind of make it feel like you're sending, like keeping your send. When you're sending her this, keeping your send until you change hands and send that way, and keeping your send until you really change. So that'll keep her the feeling that she's being sent, and then so it just feels a little bit more like a turn, like a smoother turn than a pull off of the line. Because what was happening before is it was like you were pulling her off the line, so she's walking on and she's being pulled off the line, as opposed to being pulled back. I don't know, it's just a slight difference, which it probably doesn't really matter.
Well, it makes sense. Like I said, there's a lot of times you say it and it totally makes sense, but like I said, having the hands.
Right, yeah.
That's part of how to figure out what's going on.
As long as your goal is to keep her away from you and keep her literally barely establishing that direction before you're crossing her feet back over and going this way and barely establishing before. So your goal really is to make those front feet almost trip over themselves. And that's why you're going to get her mind. You can't get her mind if she can do straight movements. But if she has to do this, she'll keep her mind back. And even with hind feet, it's not as likely you'll get her mind with hind feet. So like just chasing her down in a circle with just her hind feet, you're not going to get her mind easily. Sideways stuff, back up, she has to know where to back up. But straight, they don't have to think at all. What's the matter? I didn't come to pet you, sorry. So it's almost like you want her to get emotional again so you can do something about it. It's nice when your horse isn't being bad to practice something. Yeah, that's better. Because you don't have to even have as much of an exaggerated send. Like, just keep your hand, because your whole body's involved in the send. So, yeah, just keep, yep, there you go. Yep. There you go. Yep, that's perfect, right there. So get the feel of that. And then the only difference would be is however hyped up she is how fast you do that. And how many strides you allow her to have before you change it back. That's okay, so that was kind of, your energy was kind of dead on her face instead of the other eye. Yes. So make sure your support comes out only when you're going to be able to drive the shoulder. So if she doesn't give you the other eye, the support is only like dead on, you could cause her to rear up. Yeah, and I'm thinking this hand stays leading. I'm trying to feel how I'm thinking this hand stays leading until I've got their nose coming back with this hand, and then I change hands. I think you're changing hands sooner than I do.
I am.
I'm just trying to, this is great for me. I love trying to figure out how because it just comes natural to me. So I have to figure out how. I think I pull her in like this, and then this hand drives her back out.
I'm trying to build up that coordination. I tried that from the get-go, and that's how I was like,
Okay.
with the rope. So I'm just trying to feel like,
Sure.
I do totally see the difference though,
Okay.
in that exact thing. Falling like this.
That's the hand that's going to draw her nose in. Draw her nose in with that hand, almost like you're bringing her to you. And then in that, you're going to grab the rope with the other hand and send her away. Draw her, yep. And you know what it is? It's going to grab an underhand. So I think I grab it like this. So I'm bringing her around, I think, and then I want to bring her in. I think I grab it like this. Yeah, you're trying to grab it from underhand. If you grab things from overhand, you're almost guaranteed to get it. Underhand, you're feeling for it.
Okay.
And then you don't want to be, you know what I mean? Underhand, you're kind of like feeling under the bed, where you just slap the top of the bed. You're going to always get the rope if you come from the top. Well, she's being good now. Yep. Okay, that was good. Did that feel okay? It kind of came from your side, but you still had a pretty good idea. As long as you come to your other hand, you should be able to find it.
Yeah, super helpful.
I think I almost always, if I have to change hands with my rope, I think I always come from the top, because you're just guaranteed to get it. Even if you hit it with your wrist first, you're still guaranteed to get it. Or if you're coming from under, you're more likely to miss it and then really fumble. And then they're like, ha ha ha, you're not nearly as coordinated as I thought. It's nice that she's calm enough to be, you know. She went from being total bad. I mean, not as bad as she was at one day, my God. Like, I couldn't. Yeah. She heard the gate. Yep, so now here's your opportunity. Yep. Bring her right back and don't let her go so far. Yep, it's like, yep, don't let her go far. Yep, don't let her go far. It's going a few more strides than she should. There you go, that's a real nice turn. There you go. Yep. Good, and see now you got her thinking. See how she's waiting for it? That's what you want. When they start responding like, oh, I'm going to be told to turn again, now she's quiet again. So as soon as she goes, I don't even know if I should leave because she just turn around again. That's my book. So she's getting ready to have a reaction again. She heard the gate is what she heard. Was geeked out. Now give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay. No. Just give her the benefit of the doubt, because as soon as she had that response where she stopped before you officially told her she had to change directions, that was her telling you, okay, I'm refocused. Even though she didn't do the turn automatically because you didn't tell her to. She was ready to, meant she was back with you.
Okay.
I know, it's tough stuff being you.
It's gotta be something recently made her. Good lord. A lot going on in that head.
Good girl, good girl. Now see, you had an opportunity to work it through and look at her. And she may come back up. The head just said I might come back up, but give the benefit of the doubt that she's not going to, and just see what happens. So in a case like that, I would have waited for that first quick stride to say, you know, the head coming up just is my alert to say, all right, I see it's back in the line, we might have a problem. Quick start, spin her around. Can you do that again? Because my arms are tired. But I always promise them, I'm in for the game if you want to play. It's really like reprogramming the way you perceive their behavior, and then how to find a way to make it almost fun for you to manage. Okay, yeah, and I would probably even have, I probably would have even given her a pretty good shot on the shoulder for that.
I feel like I pulled her in on it.
But that face she made, that's what I would have disciplined her for. Yep, you might get another chance. Yep. Yeah, you're going under again. I see you're grasping. Yep. When you can't find it, then you can get yourself in trouble. Yep. 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 Spin her back around. Yep. Until she starts saying, "Oh wait," is she starting to tell you now? Good. And then you just, then you go back to total calm. Now the only thing that's happening too is that you're getting yourself in, I'm going to be doing something with this hand mode, and you're spending a lot of time telling her go, even though she's going. You want to try to get out of it that's causing, so that way she's not, because now she's hyper alert to what that hand must mean, because it's going to do something. But if it's not going to do anything, let her know that she's doing it. We want to always tell her when she did get the right answer, which is this. But if we keep saying, I'm going to do it again, I'm going to do it again, because that's what that says. Now you got a little hike going on there. Her body got short. See how short she got? So that's when you want to make sure, okay, I'm definitely more away from you. Short and up. There you go. Huh?
I know she can't fly, but she can't work through that one.
Yep, yep. I agree. So I can't tell what those thoughts were. I think those were more about a fly, but they were thinking steps, but I think they were more about a fly. This will work on any horse in any freak out experience. The only other thing that you can do is when a horse is really like bouncing up and down, backing them up with as much energy as you could possibly throw in front of them will help a horse that's trying to rear a lot. Because if you make them back up while they're rearing, it'll cause them to have to know where their back feet are, and they're going to want their front feet on the ground. So this doesn't always work with rearing, because rearing, they can rear in that turn. Okay? Yep. Well, Ritz, I actually play with Ritz that way, where I'll have him do such sharp turns that he'll rear up to get to the other direction. And then, even if they look like they're going to stumble and fall, if you're in a dangerous situation and they're rearing up and chasing them backwards, is the procedure or the process that you're going to use. Even if they fall down, it will teach them real quick not to do that again. I've made a couple horses fall down that were having rearing fits.